Ever looked at a pile of empty drink cans and thought, wow, this could be wall art? No, just me? Well, stick around, because today we're turning trash into treasure with a colorful seed of life design. If you've seen some of my other can projects, you know I love a little geometry, a lot of upcycling, and the oddly addictive ASMR moment when peeling the template off after nailing down. This one might just be my most satisfying yet.
Color outside the lines.
For my newest can art artwork, I'm punching discs out of drink cans. This happens to be San Pellegrino. I've got all sorts of different colors here. I've got a fiber cloth just to wipe off any residue that got missed when I washed the cans. They should be nice and clean so that they shimmer in the light. So essentially, I take the can, I'm going to put it into this punch, and this is a leftover from my days as a fashion designer. I used to punch paper holes to hang my patterns, but now I'm using it to punch 3/4 inch holes for this artwork. Okay, so essentially I just line it up, and I'm going to press it down. I'm going to use gloves because it can be sharp, and this one is sticky, so it helps it move it along. And then I'll just go to the next one. And I move along in that manner until I've got everything punched. And there you go. Perfectly round discs. Now that all the discs are punched, we can move on with the template. And I've got a wood round here, and I've taped it down. But it's important to note that this particular pattern has an up and down. So I'm just going to flip this around to the back and show you the hanging mechanism I have. So on the back, there's this routed hanging system here. And so what I had to do was I had to find the middle, and that's the middle there for the actual round. And then I had to calculate top and bottom. So what I did is I marked it. Now this isn't an exact science, so I had to take this mark and I just transferred it down on this piece of green tape so that I could fold my piece of paper, my template, in half and try to position it. If it doesn't work out, instead of using a screw to hang this, I can always use an actual hanging mechanism to get it more, I guess, level on the wall. So I'm just going to see what happens. Each aluminum disc is going to hang on a nail. And what I'm using here is wire nails. They're 5/8 by 18. So in order to transfer the pattern onto my board, I'm going to use this little push pin here. You could use an awl, anything that's sharp. I'm going to position it right in the middle of my hole that's indicated on my pattern, and then I'm just going to tap it with my hammer. I forgot to mention previously that I marked the top with tape, and it says up, so that I know which direction this is going to be hanging in. And I'm just going to lift this and double check that it's in the position I want it in before I start anything. And there's my hanging mechanism. It's at the top, so I'm good to go. Now I should also mention that when you punch your holes, you're going to have to eyeball and make sure that you haven't missed any. So this, for instance, isn't punched. You want to do that before you lift it, because it's going to be very difficult to position it back on again once it's all punched. Make sure that you're looking very carefully and try to do it methodically. So I've taken this outside because it's a beautiful day, and I'm just gonna tap away until I'm done. And it's just a matter of giving it a few taps, just enough so that you can see the hole you're making. And that's it. I'm just going to continue on until we're finished. And then I'm going to be punching the actual nail hole in the disc. So I'll show you that next. The next step is to punch holes in the discs that I punched out previously. And to do that, I've got this piece of plastic here that I punched a hole into with this Beadsmith 1.5mm punch. And the whole idea of that is so that I have a hole to insert my nail. And by putting this over the discs, I make sure that I have a consistent hole every time. So I'm going to take a few discs, probably around 3 or 4. I'm going to put my template, my plastic template, over them. And then I'll take my punch, I'm going to line it up with that hole, and then I'm just going to give it a press. And then a little wiggle to get it out. Now, this is probably just a little dull, so occasionally I'll get a few on the back that don't come off. You can just give that a wiggle. And there you go, I've got my holes, and let's just test it out. That'll be perfect. It's big enough that it'll still wiggle around, but it won't come through the head. Okay, this is my favorite part. It's time to peel the paper back. Now, before I take it totally off, I am going to mark the top here, just so that I can find my bearings. So that's the middle right there. The beauty of using a template to position all these discs is that you can see if it's going to work before you nail anything down. So if you feel that you need to replace anything, you can just eyeball it and just pick it up and replace it. I was having some doubt about the lighter color that I had here initially, so I swapped it out for this blue. It's a little bit brighter, and I hope it's going to look good. Ready to start nailing, so I've got this tool. It's basically a nail holder to hold the nail as I hammer it. And I'm using these wire nails here, and I've taken one and inserted into my little disc. I'm going to put it into this nail holder, and this is going to keep it perfectly straight as I hammer it. I'm just going to locate, and then let's just make sure I'm on my mark. These are pretty faint, so, and then I'll just tap it in. Once that's in there, I've got this little gadget here, and that sets the height so that they're all even. So I'm just going to continue on. It's pretty noisy.
Doesn't it look magical shimmering in the breeze? Spoiler alert, there's no breeze. That's just my husband huffing and puffing off camera like the big bad wolf of craft videos. The one thing I didn't cover in this video was how to actually cut down the cans, and we've got a fantastic tool that you can make yourself, so be sure to watch the next video. If you're watching this in the fall, you're right on time for the Fall Into Fabulous bundle, where we've put together 16 digital goodies, planners, recipes, coloring books, and more, including our beginner crochet ebook. Every commission goes straight to Alzheimer's research, so your purchase means you're treating yourself and making a difference. But don't wait, the bundle's only here for a limited time. I'll leave the link down in the description. You can find the full tutorial over at birdsofafeather.ca, and don't forget to like, share, and follow right here.